All right. What's going on, everyone? This is Zen here from Zen Multiverse, and I hope you're having a great day. So, we are back with another episode on Tosin ODUYE. And this one is not so much about the powers, but about his fighting style, or what we can surmise and predict and theorize about the fighting style. And then I'll draw some comparisons throughout the video as well. So, what do we know about Tosin Nadoya? Well, we know that for the most part, his abilities, well, not for the most part, his abilities come from vibranium-based tattoos that his tribe utilizes in order to practice something called flow. Now, they didn't they didn't really say flow to the point of that's the name of the fighting style, but that's what I'm gonna call it for the sake of this video, only because it is mentioned probably 4 times within the comic book of Black Panther number 3 or number 3 or number 200, depending on how you're looking at the numbers, right? So what can we surmise about flow, right? So flow is really about the connection between vibranium and the body, but also the earth as well. And in this case, vibranium is part of the earth, right? Um, so as you can see at the bottom, this bottom panel right here, that it seems to be that their eyes are closed, right? And there's an instinctual kind of flow process going on, right? How something is flowing through them and out of their body, right? Which gives a real great relevance to vibranium, right? When something hits it, it kind of like bounces back or shovels back out, right? Thinking about Captain America's shield, or even when um, Black Panther receives hits, he's able to send it back out through the process of this purple-like shockwave, right? Let's look at another picture. Boom, boom. All right. All right. Not that one yet. We're going to draw some pictures and comparisons a little bit later, though. So I can't wait to get to that picture in particular. Okay. All right. So here's another picture. Now, I don't believe that this is just reading this little middle panel where you see the person with their arms like really tighten, and it seems that vibranium has coursed through them, right? It says for some vibranium flowed with them, right? So it seems like it's more than just one person who's really uh, who are they do have the vibranium within them, but not everyone has received abilities, right? And for some they have, right? Now, as you can look on this left hand side, it seems like this person, right? I don't think that's Tosin, only because of the hair and also the chest area, right? The pectoral area is displayed as a different person. So, but this person is utilizing it in a flow state, right? She's moving, or he, depending on what they're identifying as, is from left to right, but you also see like a punch moving forward, right? But if you look really closely, let me bring this picture closely, right? If you look really closely on the left hand side while she's moving, you could see there's a slight vibration before she moves into that neutral stance and then upper stance, right? That upper stance and that the middle and the left hand side, it starts off with a wave-based motion, right? As if there is a slight vibration that's going on. Now, hence vibranium for vibration, right? And the middle one seems to be that person has then been able to let it flow in a way that hardens their skin, right? Hardens their skin in a way where they could make that kind of earthquake-based punch on that right-hand panel that you see. All right, pretty cool overall. So far, what I'm surmising about the fighting style is the utilization of the vibration to then to send it out, right? Or to harness it in a way where it's now hardening the skin, right? Which is pretty cool. All right, let's go on to our next picture to draw some comparisons. So here's a picture of Tosin Odoye, and he's with his dad. And what it seems like he's doing on the right hand side is very reminiscent of what I've seen in Shaolin techniques, where um, a fighter or a Shaolin monk is standing on one leg. The only thing that's different here is really about the X motion that he has towards his pectoral, and that's coming in the form of what looks like to be him just kind of like the centerpiece of that tattoo, right? And he's standing on one leg as a form of balance, right? Stability and foundation, right? and his father is just looking at the side to see how his his son is doing. And again, you can see that the word flow comes up again, and this is why I'm calling um, tosinoduye's fighting style flow, right? A young man that was my purpose to learn to flow, right? All right. So, what can we draw in terms of conclusions for this fighting style, right? Is it is it like other martial arts in Africa right now, currently, right? A lot of people don't know there's a lot of fighting styles in Africa, right? I think there's about, well, I'm not going to give it a number, but there's over 5 different types of fighting styles in martial arts in Africa that people don't know about. So I'm going to go over some of them to see if we could draw some conclusions or where some inspiration may come from, right? I haven't been too successful, right? And it's leading back to like Chinese martial arts or kung fu, but let's go over some of them, right? So, um, in Africa, there's different fighting styles, right? And one of the ones is dambe, and dambe is a West African creation, and it's mostly composed of boxing style that comes from the Hoesha people, okay? And a group that's very strong culturally in history. So Dambe was practiced by the butcher clans of the Hanasa and a variety of other purposes, including preparation for war and also entertainment for different festivals. You know, similar to what we would do here, depending on where you are on the planet, right? And you might see in the Olympics for judo and things like that. Um, so Dambe is pretty much like a boxing type of fighting style, right? As you can see, these fighters right here, they look beast, right? I think for the most part, anytime we see various martial arts where it comes to like some kind of like boxing, we normally look at Thailand and Muay Thai and things like that. But Africa, they have their own, and this is Dambe, if I'm pronouncing it correct, right? So yeah, let's look at some more, right? Just to see where we could draw some more conclusions. Oh man, these gentlemen look beast, right? And some of it looks very similar to sumo wrestling, but again, it is different, right? So this next fighting style, basically is very reminiscent to what would be seen as a wrestling, um, traditional wrestling. And the name of it is called lutte traditionnelle, right? Or lutte traditionnelle, right? Um, and it basically refers to West African wrestling disciplines that have been handed down over time, right? And it utilizes grappling techniques and takedowns and things of that nature, okay? And basically, the name implies, and basically, uh, its origin is basically traditional wrestling, right? Simple as that, right? Nothing else beyond that. Now, are there other martial arts fighting styles in Africa? Absolutely, right? Don't have a picture for it, but besides Dambe, there's Anglo, right? Anglo is basically a martial art that's practiced as a rites of passage, right? And that rite of passage is called omumelo, right? I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that totally wrong. So someone of African descent who is more knowledgeable than me, please correct me, right? But it's basically held by boys in order for them to find their wife, right? It's a spectacle, right, of men who are, for lack of better words, they're fighting over a girl who will take you know who's basically shown the prowess is needed um, to have her as the wife, right? So, which is pretty cool, right? To me personally, right? Um, so Anglo features leg sweeps and kicks and um, inverted positions, right? Now, Anglo could be something, all of these martial arts, right, including Anglo, Dambe, and also Lutte Traditionnelle, could be something that is utilized in the fighting style um, of Tosin Oduye, right? One of the ones that I didn't talk about that does seem to give some kind of relevance that, you know, for the most part has traveled from Africa all the way to Brazil is none other than capoeira, right? And don't have a picture here, but capoeira is basically um, slaves used capoeira as a way, 2 ways, right? As a traditional festival in order to practice movement, but also to mask dance in fighting styles, right? To mask fighting styles in dance itself, right? With the utilization of a lot of footwork, right? There's also upper body work, but then the footwork is there as well. So yeah. Now, if I was to say where he's gonna take his fighting style from, in terms of just in terms of inspiration, I'm gonna go with all of them, right? The striking capabilities that are utilized from the punches, right, are gonna go into dambe, right? The movement combination of wrestling, traditional, right? Um, lute or lute traditional is going to be fused with the likes of capoeira in order. That's where you get this flow based movement, right? Smooth, right? And will we see a little bit of Angelo? The Angelo just really comes in the form of like striking, right? Similar to Dambe. So I think the striking techniques will be fast and swift, but that flow state, right? Or that flow motion is really going to come from the combination of the wrestling style, right? Lutte traditional, and also capoeira, right? Um, and maybe I might be wrong. Maybe it comes from none of them. But for me, it was really cool to just to look at the martial tribes, right, within, or the different clans that we have in Africa, right, and the fighting styles that we have in Africa. One of the things that I'm going to do in future videos is I'm going to do the fighting styles and also where the inspiration comes from for a lot of different comic book superheroes, right? Like Captain America, Cyclops, all of them, even Gladiator, and to see some of them are pretty much upfront, but to see if we could draw some comparisons, just because it's cool. No other reason, right? Because one thing that I've been doing is that even though I'm looking up these fighting styles, I'm learning quite a bit about different cultures, right? And the different types of martial arts. And this is part of my geek culture. So, everyone, with that being said, this is Zen from Zen Multiverse Satan. Peace, love, and prosperity. If you're enjoying the content, you already know what to do. Drop a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment in the comment section. Are there other African martial arts? Most of these martial arts were from West Africa. Are there any other martial arts that you think that Tosin ODUYE draws inspiration from, right? Or at least the creators, right? The creators are drawing inspiration from these martial arts, right? But yeah, that was pretty fun researching these different African martial arts. But yeah, I'll catch you all later in the next one. Later, everyone. Tosin ODUYE.